Hey, I shouldn't be telling you this, but if you skip this part of the video, you will miss out on the deal of a lifetime. If you click the link in the description, you will see that Atlas VPN are giving out an offer to get a 3-year subscription for just $1.83 per month. That's less than Netflix's latest price increase. Plus, it comes with 3 months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's the best VPN on the market, and you can use it to watch shows that are not available on streaming services in your country. So you can watch Friends on UK Netflix, no matter where you are in the world, as long as you have a subscription to Netflix. You can even use it on unlimited devices, so everyone in your house can watch Friends on UK Netflix at once. And they keep your searches private, so that we'll all finally stop spying on you. But remember, time is of the essence if you want to get this offer. Just $1.83 per month to get a 3-year subscription by clicking the link in the description below.
Am I the asshole for banning my mother from my house after she cooked in my kitchen? I, 24F, have banned my mother from my house and taken her emergency key. I did this after I found out from one of her friends who was disgusted that she was sneaking into my house and using as many plates, pans, silverware and the like in secret, cleaning them and then putting them back, with the express purpose of breaking my kosher status of the kitchen. I confronted her, she admitted it, saying that my becoming Jewish and going kosher was an insult, and she had supported me through my conversion because she thought I'd realize how stupid it was, and when I didn't she felt stuck. So, she had been secretly sabotaging my kosher kitchen to show that there was nothing different after she cleaned. I took her key and banned her from my house because she broke my trust. She and my dad have been blowing up my phone as I've been recapturing everything. Everyone in my family is calling and leaving messages, calling me the asshole, and my aunt, mom's sister, is saying I'm being ridiculous and said, honoring your mother and father is more important than keeping kosher. That made me start questioning my decision, and after a sleepless night, I needed outside perspectives. Edit. I've called a locksmith because it's an old house, but more upsetting, after a piece of advice from here, I checked my mezuzahs and the scrolls are missing. I'm trying not to freak out, and contacted my shul to see if I can get into the Judaica shop. Edit 2. Thank you to everyone for the support. I'm amazed and touched by everyone's kind words. I'm heading to shul for Shabbos and thank you all again. Beyond how disrespectful she is, this is also really creepy and violating. She's acting like a predator who goes in and does gross things to a woman's belongings to get off on knowing she's using them with zero knowledge he touched them. You are not the asshole, there is something deeply not okay with your mother. Not the asshole. Your mother, I'm sorry to say, is evil and abusive. Not only is she unwilling to support your faith, she has been actively and secretly sabotaging it. Never eat anything this woman has touched ever again. She's the sort to secretly include a bit of bacon grease just so she can point out that it didn't make a difference. Am I the asshole for telling my husband's aunt I am not responsible for raising his half-siblings? My husband was told 3 months ago that his father, who he was estranged from, and his father's wife, had passed away in an accident, and he had been listed as the person to become guardian to their 2 young children. My husband had no idea his father had done this. He never actually met those children. He was estranged from his father by the time the older of the 2 was born, though he did know the older child existed. My husband told the person who called that he was not willing to become their guardian. The person understood, and what ended up happening is my husband's aunt took the kids. This is his father's sister. She wants my husband to take them still. She has reached out countless times to convince him to meet the kids and form a relationship and see if he could build up to wanting them. He has no interest in this. After my husband blocked her and stopped responding completely, she decided to show up at the house while I was working. She told me we needed to talk and proceeded to tell me I could decide we are taking them and I could be the person to make the first step. She told me they were just as much my responsibility, as my ILs, as they are my husband's, and that they are children who are orphaned and don't need the family history being the reason they never know their brother. The family history is my husband's mother died when he was 17. His father was having an affair while she was sick. The affair partner became his wife. My husband never forgave him and left before he turned 18 and before their oldest child could be born. I told the aunt I had no responsibility to raise the kids, that I was not going to raise them if my husband wasn't interested. I told her if she doesn't want them she should say so, but she should not try to force them into a home where they are unwanted and unloved. I told her it's tragic for the kids but they are not my children. She called me heartless and told me that as a woman I should be ashamed to be married to someone who would discard flesh and blood children over the actions of adults. I made her leave. I had to then block her on my work phone because she attempted to reach me there to tell me once again that I am this bad person. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Their dad was out of his mind putting your husband down as the guardian in case anything happens. If you're not talking and haven't in years, then it follows that they're not going to want to take in kids that they've never met. Not the asshole. If the aunt is so concerned, then she can raise them herself. Not the asshole. It's heartbreaking for the kids, and yes, they're innocent in all of this, but no one should be forced to take in kids that are not their responsibility. Not the asshole. This heartless woman who is actively trying to discard flesh and blood by shaming other people for doing exactly the same is disgusting. Not the asshole. But, husband's aunt, you are also a woman. Not the asshole. It might be worth having a lawyer send her a cease and desist letter. Then, if necessary, file for harassment, if she continues. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter I already knew she is a lesbian? I am 46F. My daughter is 16F. Her 16th birthday was yesterday. Every birthday I bake her a cake. I've done it since her first birthday. I was baking in the afternoon, when she got in the kitchen saying, "Mom, I need to tell you something." I stopped what I was doing to pay attention to her and asked what's wrong. She said, "Mom, I have to be honest with you." She spoke in a little speech here about how much she loves me and how she can't keep this secret anymore. So, I'm that I can finally tell you that, I like girls, I'm a lesbian. I immediately responded with, "I know." She was shocked, and shouted, "You knew? How?" I said, "Honey, you have gay written all over your face. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting you to come out. Just to come home one day to introduce your girlfriend to us." She started crying a little. Then I continued talking and retelling some key moments that give away that she likes girls. Like that moment in first grade when she referred to her best friend as her bride. She asked if her dad knows, and I said yes. She was hurt. Said that she has been planning coming out for so long, that was riddled by anxiety every time she tried to speak to me or her dad about it, and that I should have told her that I knew, so she could skip all the near anxiety attacks. I said that there was always a chance I could be wrong, or that she could be bi or pan, and in the end, she is a separate person and her sexuality is not my business. I told her I love her so much, that this changes nothing, and I will welcome any partner of hers. She nodded with the head, but started crying and went to her room. I finished the cake, but she went out that night with her friends instead. I saved the cake in the fridge, waited for her to come home, but when she arrived went straight to her room. Today, she left for school, barely saying good morning to me. I don't know if I was too cold, too distant, or whatever. Something is wrong here and I don't know if it is me. Am I the asshole? The last thing I would have wanted was my mom saying, "Honey, I know you're a lesbian," when I was a baby gay before I've had the chance to vocalize it, and while every kid is different, you absolutely were not wrong for not saying something sooner. I don't think you were the asshole in your response. You didn't say, "I know," snidely, you were loving and accepting, as you should be. She's processing lots of things here, and that's okay. Nah. You knew. Parents sometimes know. She obviously had expected some giant lovely coming out moments that she didn't get. I'm sure there are a million children out there that would have loved to hear what you said from their parents. AITA. Did not want bad coffee as a gift. My friend went to a foreign country outside of the United States in Europe and came back with gifts. My friend knew I like coffee, so he got me coffee that I know I won't drink. It's a dark roast and there's no roast by date, which means it's not fresh. I gently put it back in the bag and politely told them why I don't drink that kind of coffee. Him and his friends said I was being ungrateful and rude and that I shouldn't have thrown the coffee in the bag, which I didn't. Doctor, am I the asshole for not accepting a gift I wouldn't use? You are the asshole. Geez, could you have been more snobby? You could have just accepted it and not used it rather than you're pretentious, "I only use fresh beans." You are the asshole, it was a gift. It's the thought that counts. You should have just graciously accepted it and thrown it away, given it away when they aren't around. When you're all alone on holidays and your birthday and no one gets you a gift, remember this post. You are the asshole. The correct response would have been, "Thank you for the thoughtful gift. Then do what you want with it later." But instead, you sounded like a pretentious "ah." They called you out on this, so you already know you are the asshole.